Welcome to my channel, Final Verdict.
You done?
Your Honor, I have submitted a green sheet. We're asking for an adjournment. Ms. Dunn has a assessment at the Sacred Heart treatment facility tomorrow. I do have verification here. It's the Sacred Heart program that's up in Richmond, which I think is up in northern Macomb County. It looks like it's their model is a 12-step type approach. It is inpatient.
On an amphetamine of some type?
Excuse me, Judge?
On an amphetamine of some type?
You mean prescribed? Yeah, I don't believe so, Judge.
That's just clarified. So why is she testing positive for amphetamines?
Your Honor, I believe this was the initial test after arraignment. We are asking for an adjournment.
Will she test clean today?
I'm sorry?
Will she test clean today?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
You're not sure?
I haven't used, I know that, but I don't know.
I think she's, it's my understanding she doesn't know the half-life of it, Your Honor. I believe her initial test was
That was she saying?
Or the 5th. Well, she
When's the last time did you use?
It was a couple days ago. That's why I'm seeking in-house treatment. Your Honor.
Your Honor, I do have documentation here that she is seeking to address the root cause of any of this behavior. Like I said, she has an intake tomorrow. I can. It's at 1 p.m. That's in Richmond. She is here. This issue today. I can offer to the.
She tests on the 6th. She's positive on the 6th. I'm now here on the 12th, and she's using by the 10th. I have no guarantee that she's going to make it even to treatment.
Yeah, I promise you I will. I have my 4 kids with me, sir. Your Honor.
Your Honor, she has a lot at stake.
I understand that, including her life.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll adjourn the probable cause conference March 19, 2026, 9 a.m. This time the defendant's bond is revoked. Defendant's remanded.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Laquita Thompson.
People.
And Assistant Public Defender Nick Bukovich on behalf of Ms. Thompson, who's now approaching. Can you please state your name for the record?
Laquita Thompson.
What are we doing? You're seeking an adjournment?
Yes, I am seeking an adjournment, Your Honor. And I'm prepared to address the corrections report.
Pardon?
I said there was a note for community corrections reports. I'm prepared to address that.
And on February 22nd, she blew numbers. There other 3 blows, then she took an EEG the next day. It came back.
Yes, Your Honor. In addressing the alleged violation, my client does admit to drinking on that 22nd date. It was unfortunately she did lose a friend of 24 years, someone she worked for and has known for a very long time. And unfortunately, as part of the grieving process, she does admit she did have a moment of weakness and there was a mistake and she did drink. She is working very hard on maintaining the good strides she has made in her life. She currently works 2 jobs, One where she works approximately 12-hour shifts on her feet at a manufacturing factory. She has done community service. She attends AA meetings. I actually do have AA sign-in sheet that I can provide to the court and the prosecution. She attends them both in person when she's able to, and on Zoom when her work schedule does not allow her to make in-person dates. I do want to note, prior to being placed on the prior to being placed on the sober link, she did have no violations on the Scram tether. She had to be placed on the sober link due to issues with her ankle, and that was why at the previous PCC date you allowed her to switch over to the sober link. I do note I do understand there are several late tests. However, I do want to note several of those tests she did test within 10 minutes after the time frame occurred. I think 7 of those total. And for all of those late tests, she was negative. She does, as I indicated, work on a manufacturing line. So often, sometimes there are moments where she cannot physically step away from that line due to the ongoing working process, as it would be obviously a process issue for the process of work, but also for safety down the line. She has indicated that she has reached out to her supervising agent to discuss these matters when she does have a late test. She is actually working on obtaining a house and was actually supposed to assign on that house today. She is doing a lot of work to improve her life, continue doing what she must, and I think it is clear that she is attempting to do with everything within her power to comply with the bond conditions. So at this time, Your Honor, I would be requesting that she have a second chance and that her PR bond be maintained.
Any response to the people?
My concern, Your Honor, is that we was on a tether and we agreed to change her to a sober link. Now she has these issues.
Yep.
And it was right about immigration.
Your Honor, she's now committed to sobriety and addressing the issues that brought her here. Out of the court's graciousness, we're asking that the conditions be modified to reflect that progress. As I understand it, there's still the option to remand her into custody. However, I respectfully request that the court allow her the opportunity to continue proving herself outside of jail. I will adjourn the probable cause conference to March 19, 2026, at 9 a.m. The defendant will remain on the current terms. Your Honor, I have 2 jobs. I'm doing everything I can to stay on track.